Cultural appropriation. What do those words mean to you? This probably isn't going to be a very popular video. Cultural appropriation is the adoption or use of one culture by a completely different culture. The word appropriate means to kind of take away, to take away someone's culture. So I think that's a really important thing. We have to listen to what the actual meaning of cultural appropriation is. So taking away someone else's culture and, having it for yourself. I've been hearing a lot about it recently. It's been something that I'm really interested in it because I am someone who is pasty as Casper, yet I have quite a few different cultures in my bloodline, and I was raised in England by my Trinidadian mother with my English father. Disney released a costume for boys or girls. I suppose if you're a girl you want to be Maui, you can. Well, not anymore. They released a costume which is of the character Maui from the new motion picture Moana, which is based on a Polynesian girl. And Maui, the movie's not out yet, I haven't even seen it, I don't know much about the storyline, but Maui is obviously a Polynesian guy. He is a demigod, so, he's a demigod, which, it's fictional. He has lots of tribal tattoos, traditional Polynesian tattoos. I don't know anything about Polynesia. I don't know anything about what their tattoos mean, and I know that the meanings are very sacred to the people. So some people got very upset because they believe that Disney is taking their culture and making it somebody else's, or giving it to other people and not giving them the credit. Well done, Disney, for fucking screwing everyone over. Or maybe they just did it because they wanted people to be like, ooh, this movie, because it's not had much hype, and now everybody's talking about it because it's an offensive costume. I don't think anything that I have ever done has taken the ability from someone else to use that aspect of their culture, if that makes any sense. I'm a white person, I'm from England, but I love curry. I cook curry all the time. Is that cultural appropriation? When I make Thai food, is that cultural appropriation? If I eat sushi, is that cultural appropriation? Like, am I indulging in something and taking it away from someone else? No, I find that actually I'm just enjoying a part of someone else's culture, which I think is a really beautiful thing if you really think about it. Like, sharing culture, sharing your culture, with people around the world is lovely. Especially in this country that I live in. I live in the United States. And, this country was founded on diversity and celebrating people's differences. So I went out today with my children and my husband, and we went to a popular Halloween store to look at the costumes and to kind of see, open my eyes a bit as to what costumes are available to children. I get so excited because my daughter gets really excited, and my son isn't quite at the point yet where he understands, but he saw a costume today that he wanted, and might have to get it for him. But yeah, we went around and there were so many different costumes that I looked at and I thought to myself, that could be considered cultural appropriation. That could be considered cultural appropriation. That's cultural appropriation. Or how people get upset about some costumes. If I were to look at some costumes, I could get exactly the same kind of upset by looking at them, if that makes sense. But I don't, because it doesn't bother me, When I see the, I'm gonna try and put some pictures in here. I have no clue how to do that yet, so we'll see how that goes. I might just film this and be talking to myself and pointing to bits of air, like what am I doing? Me. So yeah, I'm blabbing a lot. I'm just pulling up some pictures that I took today of some of these costumes that I thought could be considered appropriating somebody else's culture or whatever. The first one I'm looking at is a Renaissance queen. And you say to me, "That's not cultural appropriation, what the fuck are you talking about, Pip?" But actually, if you think about it, do you know where kings and queens are like a big deal? And it was very, my entire country, where I'm from, England, is built on kings and queens and castles and knights and that sort of thing. And, it doesn't bother me when I see someone dressing up as a queen from the Renaissance period, even though, that's part of my culture. It's part of my culture. That's something I grew up learning about and loving, and visiting castles and going to the Tower of London and learning all about the history, which most people in this country probably don't know a lot about. I say most because I know a ton of really fucking educated people, and when it comes to American history, I might not know as much as an American person because I am from England. It's just the way that it goes. You can't. It's what we get taught in school. In America, you get taught American history the way that America wants to show Americans, and in England, you get taught English history how they want to show English people. So it's I don't know. A lady in waiting. That's another one. Ladies in waiting were a big part of English history. Okay, a voodoo doll. Should the voodoo people who practice voodoo, should they be upset? I believe Haiti has a lot of voodoo priests or whatever. Like I don't believe in that stuff. I don't. But yeah, the voodoo dolly is still on sale. Voodoo doll costume. Then there is the Day of the Dead Senorita, which, Dia de los Muertos. I can't speak Spanish, don't get mad at me. Not something I know a particularly huge amount about. But yeah, that is a traditionally Mexican thing, I believe. And that costume is still on sale, and I haven't heard many people complaining about it. There's an Eskimo costume. This one's quite good. It's a sexy Eskimo. She doesn't look like she'd be very warm because she's wearing a fucking miniskirt, and some boot toppers, and she's carrying, I don't know what the fuck she's carrying. It looks like a baby fucking cuddly polar bear, and I don't think that's accurate at all. So that I think is actually quite offensive to look at. I don't know how an Eskimo might feel, or an Inuit. I don't know what I'm fucking ignorant, okay? I'm sure many of you will point that out. I'm just talking because these are thoughts that I have in my head, and I feel like you guys should be tortured by my thoughts as much as me. Sorry. So yeah, there's this Eskimo costume, but again, this one's still up. It I don't know if it's taking away someone's culture. It might not be the best costume to wear. It might not be the most considerate, but if you're offended by it, that's kind of your issue, not the person wearing it. This one is not really appropriation, but it's a snow leopard, so that's animal appropriation. And this bitch does not look like a snow leopard. She's wearing some fucking stupid ass dress with a fucking hood and ears, and she's wearing stilettos. And I think most snow leopards would be offended if they looked at that and they said, and that was what was representing them in the human world. I think that's fucking disgraceful. Oh, a Roman empress. There we go. Ancient Rome. I wonder how the Italians feel about it. My ancestors were probably Romans, so I guess that's my culture too, so yeah, I mean, I could be offended by it, but I'm fucking not. It's Olympian. Greek, obviously. My name is Greek. Philippa. It means lover of horses. Thanks, Mum. Cleopatra. A Cleopatra costume. She was obviously Egyptian. Is that cultural appropriation? I don't know. Is it? Like, is it? It could be. Okay, let's talk about Harley Quinn. Okay, should we talk about Harley Quinn? Harley Quinn is mentally fucking ill, yeah? Okay, so are all the, like, mentally ill people like me? You know, I have some issues going on. I'm not gonna deny that I suffer with some issues, like, but Harley Quinn is cool, right? Harley Quinn is awesome because she's fucking nuts, right? But if I'm nuts, that's not cool. I'm fucking nuts if I'm nuts. That's not fair. Why would people want to dress up as a mental illness? Things that make you go, huh? Finding Dory, a Dory costume. Fucking insensitive, again, to people with memory loss and people, like, who are fish. A Grecian goddess, again. Someone else's culture. An Egyptian queen, again. Someone else's culture. A captain, a pirate captain. You know there are still pirates in the world. Yeah. Should they be offended? Or is it okay because they're pirates? A 1950s sweetheart. Okay. This chick is wearing a straight up poodle skirt and like horn-rimmed glasses and she looks fucking cool. But is that appropriating American culture? Or doesn't that matter? I guess that doesn't matter because it's American culture, right? A taco costume? Not really fucking sure about this one. Like, why is anyone dressing up as a taco on Halloween anyway? Like, unless it's like a fucking demon taco. Robin Hood, that's part of my fucking culture. Get it out of your American stores, you bastards. Oh, here's a good one. Thor. Yeah, Thor. The Thor from the Avengers. You know, he was like a Norse god, and Disney took him, Marvel took him, and they made him into a superhero, and that is not what he's about. Wah, 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 wah. Cultural appropriation, wah. Lone Ranger, Tonto bird? Not really sure about this one. This is like fucking weird. Kids in whiteface. The kid's in whiteface! The kid is in whiteface, which I'm sure, like, I'm sorry. The kid has his face painted white and with like stripes on it, but I'm sure that's like a tribal thing. So I'm sorry that was fucking offensive, but like, I'm amused. I'm amused by this because so many people are up in art, like, fucking mad about stuff. Like, here we go. Lego Knight, a Lego Knight. Since when has any American been a knight? Apart from at like fucking medieval times. When has any American been a knight? Here we go. Ninjago. Like a Ninjago. Is that like a ninja Lego? Is that appropriation of the Japanese culture? Like, why is no one offended by any of this? But as soon as a fucking Maui costume comes out, which is a bodysuit with fake tattoos on it. Like, I understand the skin color issue, but the skin color is true to the character that's in the fucking film. Like, what would the alternative be? Should we make like a myriad of suits that come with like the same padding but then no tattoos, because that's cultural appropriation, and then we can make sure that the skin matches each child so that they're not in blackface? Like, if a kid wants to be a character and that is the costume they want, like, if my daughter comes to me and says, "Mommy, I want to be Tiana for Halloween," then yeah, I'm gonna let her fucking be Tiana. I'm not gonna paint her brown. She's fucking pasty like me. Like, I'm not gonna do that. That would be offensive. But like, I don't know. This just it's driving me crazy. You can dress up as Jesus on Halloween. Not that that bothers me. It doesn't bother me at all. You can dress up as God. Oh, here's a good one. A Bavarian? So he's basically wearing lederhosen and a hat with a feather, and he's holding a beer, and he's wearing like knee-high socks. That's fucking racist and stereotyping, but no, it's okay because he's white and European. That's fine, guys. We got another Renaissance princess. How about this? A gunslinger, a cowgirl. Yeehaw! Am I being racist, and am I appropriating American culture if I say yeehaw? Does that bother you? Are you upset? Like, if I jump on the back of a horse and start like singing dun, dun. No, I can't even remember that piece of music, but it's like the one they play when the guy's riding on the horse, and it's like super, it's awesome. But yeah, like, I don't know the first thing about cowboys. It's not my, like, I didn't grow up like that, but it's okay for people of all races to dress up as cowboys. Isn't that like a cultural thing? Like, The Walking Dead, there's a Daryl poncho, okay? I haven't really watched much of The Walking Dead since it started getting really fucking boring. Like, oh god, we're lost and we need to go over there where the zombies are. Yes, where the zombies are. And then someone gets bitten, and then it just got really fucking boring, and I just stopped caring about the characters because I guess I have no soul. This is obviously like a Native Indian type pattern. Is saying Native Indian, is that fucking racist? Like, what the fuck is life? What is life? Is everything offensive? I'm just so fucking offended by everything. I'm gonna stay in my little offended bubble for the rest of my life. And I suggest you do the same. Like, if seeing a child having fun on Halloween really bothers you that much because they're wearing a suit that doesn't match their skin tone or their hair type or, you know, where they were born, then I really think that's just sad. It's just really fucking sad. And the thing about a lot of these costumes is that, like, it's a character they're dressing up as. If I was to say I'm going to dress up as a black person on Halloween, that would be fucking offensive. That would be wrong. That would be racist. That would be really messed up for me to do. That, because being black is not a costume. Being black is not like a fucking... It's not a costume. It's not. But just as being white isn't a costume, just as like the history of my ancestors, that's not a costume either. But it's okay for people to do that because it's acceptable, because it's a white person, and it's not offensive if you're white. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm rambling again. I always ramble. But I'm literally just like spewing my thoughts because I've been thinking about this for a few days. What about the peace and love hippie? It's like the 1960s, right? This kid's wearing like fucking fringe on everything, which is a sin. Fucking sin. Being a hippie, wasn't that like kind of a cultural thing in America or in England? I don't know. I don't fucking know anymore. basically, this Halloween, stay in your lane. Oh, there's a Dragon Ball Z costume. Is that offensive because he's dressed up like someone from an anime, which was made in, what, Japan? I think. I don't know much about Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, is that offensive because he's got like the wig on? Again, it's a character, so I don't know. Last but not least, these are my favourite characters, and I kind of want to do this for Halloween. But I think this is possibly like the most offensive costume you could go as. And yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I hope I haven't pissed too many people off. I kind of have rambled off the way. One thing I do want to say is, as someone who has lived in one country for a majority of her life, I lived in England. I was born in England. When I was about 5 or 6, my mum took me to Trinidad for a while. I don't know exactly how long it was. But yeah, I went to school there for a bit, and then went back to England, and then moved over to America after I met my husband. And you know, I've seen obviously a lot of culture here that I love, and then I've seen other things that I'm just like, what the fuck is going on, you guys? Why is everyone so sad and offended by everything all the time? Why? I'm offended that you're all offended, and being offended is just like whining. It's like, fucking Stephen Fry says it. Stephen Fry says it. Where's the quote? Be right back. Google.
Google.
Stephen Fry. Who's a god, by the way. I fucking love Stephen Fry.
Stephen Fry. Offended.
It is now very common to hear people say, "I'm rather offended by that," as if it gives them certain rights. It's actually nothing more. It's simply a whine. It's no more than a whine. I find that offensive. It has no meaning. It has no purpose. No reason to be respected as a phrase. I'm offended by that. Well, so fucking what? It's one thing to dress up in blackface and be disgusting and deplorable as a human, but it's another thing to dress up as your favourite character as a child, or as a princess, or as a fucking cowboy, or a Morris dancer. Or let's talk about St. fucking Patrick's Day, shall we? The holiday that no one in England celebrates because we're all English or from somewhere else. St. Patrick's Day in America, everyone and their uncle's, auntie's, cousin's cat is Irish. That bothers me quite a bit, actually. Like, that really does bother me, because, you know what, I don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day because I'm not Irish. It's like America took St. Patrick's Day and they turned it into basically like a drinking holiday with no more meaning than other than to be pinched. What's it like? Pinched or kissed? Kiss me if I'm wearing green and pinch me if I'm wearing red. Like, I don't remember the rules. I don't take part in it. And that's something that I, as a British person, find quite hilarious when you know, I see people going out on St. Patrick's Day, and that's okay. But, you know, don't dress up as Maui. Don't dress up as an Indian, unless you're an Indian. Stay in your lane, guys. Stay in your lane. If you're white, stay white. Dress up as a cracker. And when I say a cracker, I mean like a water cracker, like a biscuit, like something you'd put cheese on. Or Mary Poppins, because Mary Poppins is white, but she's British, so is she American? Like, there's a fine line. I don't know if I want to share Mary Poppins with you guys because she's British. I just don't know.
Anyway.
I'm done. Peace out, A-Town down.